A friend of mine, who's also participating, has told me that he feels too young to talk about the greatest challenge he has overcome because he hasn't done anything special yet. And it's made me wonder whether my story is interesting enough. I haven't come here with a superheroine story. I haven't saved anyone from a fire or broken a world record. I've just come here with this simple story about a very simple girl who happens to be me. My story is nothing world-changing, but it has surely changed my world, and it has changed my perspective, and it has made me happier, which I think is the most important thing in life, and which I reckon is something that lots and lots of people are looking for: being happier. Now, one of the things that have caught my eye on the website of the BBC Speaking Awards is that it states, "Inspire people with words." So, if my simple story is able to inspire some in their quest for happiness, in their quest for courage to keep ticking, then I would love to share it. Here it goes. When I was about 12 years old, I looked like this. I was a plump adolescent, but I looked like I didn't care. I looked happy with that eternal smile on my face. However, I can assure you that I didn't feel happy at all. But how I felt back then is nothing in comparison to how I felt when I was about 14 to 15. My smile became my mask, and it covered up all of my insecurities. If I had taken that mask off, that smile would have been upside down. Now, my greatest challenge, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that I have lost 12 kilos, which gained me the double amount of happiness. I am not claiming that losing weight will guarantee you happiness. But for me, the weight loss was a sort of a wobbly road I finally dared to take. It was exactly what I needed to become less insecure and to realize, hey, I can actually do this, and I am not the failure that I think I am. I am not here to urge you to lose weight. Losing weight was my challenge. I am here to encourage you to face the challenges you've put aside. You always have two options in life when dealing with hard situations. You can either walk away and say that you're going to fail anyway, or you can decide to give it a shot and just go for it. Of course, that won't always work out, but at least you've tried, and you've shown yourself that you are not a quitter. A great quote that gives me inspiration in tough times is from Sylvester Stallone. Of all people. But it goes like this: I don't care how tough you are. Life will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, how much you can take and keep moving forward. And that is how winning is done. Take Nelson Mandela. He was imprisoned for 27 years. He was beaten to his knees by life and his fellow men. But has he ever given up his dream of a South Africa without segregation? Not a single second. A famous woman who never stopped to pursue her heart's desire was Amelia Earhart, the first woman to ever fly across the Atlantic Ocean. And she always said, I want to do this, because women have to try to do things. And if they fail, their failure is just a challenge for others. But in our small Belgium, we also find some remarkable non-quitters. Mark Hermans, for example. His legs got paralyzed, but his spirit wasn't broken. And now he's inspiring us, not only through words, but also through actions, like with his new project, Wings for Life. And here I am. Who am I in comparison to all those outstanding people? Just an ordinary girl with a little challenge. But when I look around me, I see many people not even daring to dare. But ladies and gentlemen, those dares are exactly the ones that can make you change your life and can make you happier. Every accomplishment starts with the decision to try. I've lost weight, and I've said farewell to my shell, the biggest challenge I've ever had to face. And I've come to realize that life will always offer you a second chance. So do not be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try. Yes.
Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
You said that there was a link between your self-confidence and your happiness. Is it possible for us to break this link?
Is it possible? I think when you feel good about yourself and when you feel happy with who you are, I think you feel confident. I think it's a link we can't break. If we do not feel good about ourselves, then I think it's really hard to be happy. I think it's necessary to have a certain kind of self-confidence in order to really feel happy.
What would you tell me if I chose to walk away from my challenge?
Excuse me? Sorry, I didn't.
What would you tell me if you talked about two options? What would you tell me if I chose to walk away from my challenge?
Well, first of all, I tell you that it's your choice, it's your life, it's not mine to determine. And second of all, I would ask you if you are really sure about this, because everyone always tells us that life is too short, but life is not too short to try. You are using your time in the most valuable way, so why wouldn't you? So I would tell you that. Thank you for your question. Yes.
Laura, if you say that happiness and self-confidence is linked to weight, isn't this is this you making yourself unhappy or other people making you unhappy?
There was a wise man once, Jean-Paul Sartre, and he said, "L'enfer, c'est les autres," which means hell is the others. A statement I partly agree with, because on the one hand, I think our surroundings are important for our happiness. I think what other people think is very important in how you look at yourself. However, you create your own happiness. It shouldn't always depend on other people. You are the one who's in charge of that, of your own happiness. You're welcome.
You've talked about how you got out of your shell. Has there ever been a situation where you kind of wanted to crawl back into a shell?
Yeah, because a shell is the most comfortable way of being. I think it's just you and your little world, and you don't have to be scared about what that big world out there will tell you. So yes, there have been moments I felt unconfident, moments I felt like the world wasn't interesting in what I was going to say. So yes, there have been definitely moments, but I have never really stayed there. Yeah. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Just a small follow-up question. I was wondering, is it possible for us to be happier in our shell than outside of it?
I think for some people, well, it's kind of like a white lie, I think, in the sense that if you are in your shell, you're missing out on everything that happens out of it. And I think it can make you happy in the sense that it can make you really feel at ease with yourself, but it's not the way you should live. It's not the way we should always behave, scared of what the world will say, because we are placed in this world and we should just face it. Thank you.
Don't you think that a shell can be a way of defending yourself from the big world outside who is very evil?
It definitely can, which I think is why most people have a shell. But why? Do we really want to live our entire lives covered up, scared of what the entire world will think? Or are we going to go out of that shell and just live our lives? So.
You talked about a breaking point, like the Sylvester Stallone quote, how much life throws at you, how much you can take. Where is that breaking point, and what happens when we reach it?
Well, I think at some point in your life, we all face a massive challenge. I think we all sometimes feel like Should I continue or should I just give up? I think it is that point that's so essential to actually keep going, like I said in the quote, to keep moving forward, because otherwise life will just keep you at this place that you don't want to be at. But in the end, it's your choice whether you keep moving forward or not. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.